Miss Maya Kumari, do you have any question? You have raised your hand. Hello. Hello. Maya Kumari, you are audible.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video edition of collegedekho.com. The timeless Taj Mahal in Agra, the majestic Mehrangarh Fort in Jodhpur, or the prized Hawa Mahal in Jaipur. India is home to many other engineering and architectural marvels. Time and again, India has demonstrated how advanced our technical know-how is. And this legacy is being continued even today at the University of Engineering and Management campus or UEM, located at Gurukul on Sikar Road near Jaipur, Rajasthan. An idyllic setting conducive to the nurturing of young bright minds, UEM encourages the spirit of free inquiry and imagination.
UEM Jaipur believes that the students who are studying over here should be able to perform once they go out to the industry. When they go to the industry, they should not be only trained theoretically. They should be able to perform excellent in practical works. They should be able to give some outputs to the industry and help the industry bloom.
UEM Jaipur strives to inculcate the sense of human values and discipline in its students to make them respectable human beings. It encourages learners to learn, to realize their potential and imbibe the best practices, and that is why it has focused on producing thought process engineers who will contribute to the society through self-created engineering marvels.
We have developed a project which is unmanned automated vehicle which is based on IoT, and the main purpose of the robot is bomb disposal for military purposes. I developed these smart glasses for blind people which works on the technology of ultrasonic waves which are produced through a sensor which is placed in the glasses, and it throws the sound wave to the obstacle, and in the time in which the wave returns back to the glass, it calculates the distance between the man and the obstacle, and it produces the beeping sound which is inversely proportional to the distance of the obstacle that is present.
Our innovation is smart signature detection machine which detects the signature. It is based on AI and it is a small IoT project. We have made this whole structure by 3D printer, and we are using here Raspberry Pi and a camera V28. Today I am here to present you Amantron. It is the first device, or you can say a gaming console, that enables us to give the right friction of having a gaming experience. So it is a kind of device that enables us to give a right performance with the right sound and enable us to give the heavy experience of gaming. My another project, that is InnoMech. So InnoMech, it means innovation plus mechanics. So it is the first device that enables us to relate with automobile with automation. So it presents lots of keys and lots of other commands available in our mobile phone with the help of Android base, where we can press buttons, or with the help of voice recognition system we can give the command to the vehicle.
This all-terrain vehicle we have designed in SolidWorks. In SolidWorks, basically a team comprises of 25 members. We were all equally distributed in each divisions of this team. So the software part was designed by the designing team. Now coming to the fabrication part, each and everything was designed by us, and we had manufactured it in our workshop. The main part, what we have used or what we have innovated in this, we have used a semi-automated gear system, or we haven't used a normal gear system like that is used in a commercial cars.
I and my teammates have developed prosthetic arm which can be used as a replacement to the damaged part of body. It is developed by 3D printing machine in our research and development lab and is assembled together. It has a muscle sensor with it and a Arduino Nano which act as a microcontroller to the senses.
This is my project, 3D printing machine. The main part of the project is IoT implemented. What is IoT implementation? We can use this device from anywhere of the world using internet connection.
Our project is based on sun tracking solar power system along with collector. There are a number of diodes in a solar panel. So our main purpose is to store the solar energy and convert it into electrical energy and to store it in a battery.
UEM Jaipur students won the 12th position out of 300 participant colleges all over the world in the prestigious International Mega ATV Championship.
The best part in making this ATV was that students together worked in this workshop and fabricated this vehicle. Teachers were always present here to help us. The main motive to design this vehicle was to apply the theories and concepts of engineering in practical life.
UEM Jaipur offers globally recognized and AICTE approved courses like for BTech and MTech, it offers Computer Science and Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, Electrical Engineering and Civil Engineering. It also offers MBA and Executive MBA programs in Marketing, Finance, Systems and Human Resources. Other courses available at UEM Jaipur include Bachelor and Masters in Physiotherapy, Bachelor and Masters in Occupational Therapy, Bachelors of Business Administration, Bachelor of Computer Application and PhD courses. UEM has collaborations with universities abroad and encourages student exchange programs with them.
We have foreign exchange program with Demont University, UK, Rennes School of Business, France, Iwata University, Japan. This means our student goes to those universities for their studies. Their students come to our university for the studies. We have got students not only from India, we have got the students from outside India also, like Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, UAE. University of Engineering and Management have the foreign campus in North America. Very few universities in India have the foreign campus like us.
Industry and soft skills are given special importance at UEM Jaipur.
Our faculties groomed us each day and night. They took our extra classes after regular classes and they made us learn how to speak in public places.
The academic curriculum at UEM focuses on practical learning, live projects and industry interaction.
Our teacher has helped us to overcome all the technical difficulties and all the questions which were asked in our placement interview so that we can crack it and achieve a good result.
UEM Jaipur also offers scholarships of up to 100%, 75% and 50% to meritorious students. Undoubtedly, UEM Jaipur is one of the top-notch institutes in India with a 32 acres huge campus comprising of 9 buildings, 2 workshops, 7 canteens, 1 hospital, along with state-of-the-art laboratories, separate boys and girls hostels, departmental stores, gymnasium, ATMs, as well as bus transportation services for day scholars.
All students of University of Engineering and Management Jaipur on an average bagged 1 to 2 job offers in companies like TCS, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, Capgemini, Ericsson, Tata Motors Group, Adroit Technologies, and they performed excellently well.
We are all placed in Tech Mahindra. In our pre-placement training, college took many mock tests, many online tests, pen and paper tests of aptitude, and we used to submit like 300 aptitudes every month, and that helped us a lot when we were sitting for placement.
Sports is given special focus at UEM Jaipur, and the college provides a host of sports facilities like football, cricket, TT, kabaddi, badminton, etc. UEM Jaipur is acclaimed amongst the industry-centered academic training organizations and provides a dynamic environment to its students. The group is also renowned for its strong foundation in teaching and research and development in multifaceted areas. Because of its contribution to education, UEM Jaipur has achieved numerous accolades such as University with Best Placement Award in Global Education Achievers Summit 2019, Most Admired University with Quality Education in Asia Education Summit 2019, and Topmost Ranked University in Rajasthan in NPTEL Examination Initiative by Ministry of HRD Government of India in association with 6 IITs and the IISc in 2018. So, if you are looking for a holistic growth and an experiential learning, UEM Jaipur is where you should be. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video edition of collegedekho.com. The timeless Taj Mahal in Agra, the majestic Mehrangarh Fort in Jodhpur, or the prized Hawa Mahal in Jaipur. India is home to many other engineering and architectural marvels. Time and again, India has demonstrated how advanced our technical know-how is. And this legacy is being continued even today at the University of Engineering and Management campus or UEM located at Gurukul on Sikar Road near Jaipur, Rajasthan. An idyllic setting conducive to the nurturing of young bright minds, UEM encourages the spirit of free inquiry and imagination.
UEM Jaipur believes that the students who are studying over here should be able to perform once they go out to the industry. When they go to the industry, they should not be only trained theoretically. They should be able to perform excellent in practical works. They should be able to give some outputs to the industry and help the industry bloom.
UEM Jaipur strives to inculcate the sense of human values and discipline in its students to make them respectable human beings. It encourages learners to learn, to realize their potential and imbibe the best practices, and that is why it has focused on producing thought process engineers who will contribute to the society through self-created engineering marvels.
We have developed a project which is unmanned automated vehicle which is based on IoT, and the main purpose of the robot is bomb disposal for military purposes.
I developed these smart glasses for blind people which works on the technology of ultrasonic waves which are produced through a sensor which is placed in the glasses, and it throws the sound wave to the obstacle, and in the time in which the wave returns back to the glass, it calculates the distance between the man and the obstacle, and it produces the beeping sound which is inversely proportional to the distance of the obstacle that is present.
Our innovation is smart signature detection machine which detects the signature. It is based on AI and it is a small IoT project. We have made this whole structure by 3D printer, and we are using here Raspberry Pi and a camera V28. Today I am here to present you Amantron. It is the first device or you can say a gaming console that enable us to give the right friction of having a gaming experience. So it is a kind of device that enable us to give a right performance with the right sound and enable us to give the heavy experience of gaming. My another project, that is InnoMech. So InnoMech, it means innovation plus mechanics. So it is the first device that enable us to relate with automobile with automation. So it presents lots of keys and lots of other commands available in our mobile phone with the help of Android base, where we can press buttons, or with the help of voice recognition system we can give the command to the vehicle.
This all-terrain vehicle we have designed in SolidWorks. In SolidWorks, basically a team comprises of 25 members. We were all equally distributed in each divisions of this team. So the software part was designed by the designing team. Now coming to the fabrication part, each and everything was designed by us, and we had manufactured it in our workshop. The main part, what we have used or what we have innovated in this, we have used a semi-automated gear system, or we haven't used a normal gear system like that is used in a commercial cars.
I and my teammates have developed prosthetic arm which can be used as a replacement to the damaged part of body. It is developed by 3D printing machine in our research and development lab and is assembled together. It has a muscle sensor with it and a Arduino Nano which act as a microcontroller to the senses.
This is my project, 3D printing machine. The main part of the project is IoT implemented. What is IoT implementation? We can use this device from anywhere of the world using internet connection.
Our project is based on sun tracking solar power system along with collector. There are a number of diodes in a solar panel. So our main purpose is to store the solar energy and convert it into electrical energy and to store it in a battery.
UEM Jaipur students won the 12th position out of 300 participant colleges all over the world in the prestigious international Mega ATV Championship.
The best part in making this ATV was that students together worked in this workshop and fabricated this vehicle. Teachers were always present here to help us. The main motive to design this vehicle was to apply the theories and concepts of engineering in practical life.
UEM Jaipur offers globally recognized and AICTE approved courses like, for BTech and MTech, it offers Computer Science and Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, Electrical Engineering and Civil Engineering. It also offers MBA and Executive MBA programs in Marketing, Finance, Systems and Human Resources. Other courses available at UEM Jaipur include Bachelor and Masters in Physiotherapy, Bachelor and Masters in Occupational Therapy, Bachelors of Business Administration, Bachelor of Computer Application and PhD courses. UEM has collaborations with universities abroad and encourages student exchange programs with them.
We have foreign exchange program with Demont University, UK, Rennes School of Business, France, Iwat University, Japan. This means our student goes to those universities for their studies. Their students come to our university for the studies. We have got students not only from India, we have got students from outside India also, like Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, UAE. University of Engineering and Management have the foreign campus in North America. Very few universities in India. have the foreign campus like us.
Industry and soft skills are given special importance at UEM Jaipur.
Our faculties groomed us each day and night. They took our extra classes after regular classes, and they made us learn how to speak in public places.
The academic curriculum at UEM focuses on practical learning, live projects, and industry interaction.
Our teacher has helped us to overcome all the technical difficulties and all the questions which were asked in our placement interview so that we can crack it and achieve a good result.
UEM Jaipur also offers scholarships of up to 100%, 75% and 50% to meritorious students. Undoubtedly, UEM Jaipur is one of the top-notch institutes in India with a 32 acres huge campus comprising of 9 buildings, 2 workshops, 7 canteens, 1 hospital, along with state-of-the-art laboratories, separate boys and girls hostels, departmental stores, gymnasium, ATMs, as well as bus transportation services for day scholars.
All students of University of Engineering and Management Jaipur on an average bagged 1 to 2 job offers in companies like TCS, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, Capgemini, Ericsson, Tata Motors Group, Adroit Technologies, and they performed excellently well.
We are all placed in Tech Mahindra. In our pre-placement training, college took many mock tests, many online tests, pen and paper tests of aptitude, and we used to submit like 300 aptitudes every month, and that helped us a lot when we are sitting for a placement.
Sports is given special focus at UEM Jaipur, and the college provides a host of sports facilities like football, cricket, TT, kabaddi, badminton, etc. UEM Jaipur is acclaimed amongst the industry-centered academic training organizations and provides a dynamic environment to its students. The group is also renowned for its strong foundation in teaching and research and development in multifaceted areas. Because of its contribution to education, UEM Jaipur has achieved numerous accolades such as University with Best Placement Award in Global Education Achievers Summit 2019, Most Admired University with Quality Education in Asia Education Summit 2019, and Topmost Ranked University in Rajasthan in NPTEL Examination Initiative by Ministry of HRD Government of India in association with 6 IITs and the IISc in 2018. So, if you are looking for a holistic growth and an experiential learning, UEM Jaipur is where you should be.
Tarun sir, can you hear me? Yes, sir. You are audible perfectly. Okay. Thank you. You too. Yes, thank you. हेलो सर, गुड मॉर्निंग। आपको मैंने को होस्ट बना दिया है और सर अभी ज्वाइन नहीं करा है अभी तक। Tarun sir, please mute yourself. Tarun sir, please mute yourself. Thank you. Yes, very good afternoon to one and all. Tarun sir, it's audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay, very good afternoon, all the participants. I'm Dr. Praful Chabra. Welcome you all on the behalf of Department of Mathematics and Statistics, University of Engineering and Management, Jaipur, on the 6th day of this International Faculty Enrichment Program on Advanced Tools and Techniques for Scientific Research, Writing and Publication. Today, our speaker is Professor Dr. Shailesh Rastogi, and he will be joining very soon. I think within 5 minutes he will be joining. So you just wait and have patience. Thank you.
Sir, Shailesh sir is there.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So dear participants, our today's speaker has joined. before starting the session and taking over by him, I just let all you know the profile of our speaker today. First of all, Shailesh sir, good afternoon.
Very good afternoon. Very good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Sorry, I'm late for a few minutes. I got stuck somewhere.
It's okay. It's absolutely okay, sir. All good, sir?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, all good. Please start.
Okay, okay. So participants, I am just briefing the profile of our speaker. Dr. Shailesh Rastogi is presently working as professor at SIBM Pune. He has more than 20 years of experience of academics and industry. He is a prolific researcher and has got more than 120 research papers published in various national and international journals of repute. His area of interest for research are transparency and disclosure and its impact on performance and valuation of firms, performance and risk management in banks, inclusive growth, distressed firms, and market integration and volatility. He has won accolades and awards for best researcher in management area. He is a management graduate from National Institute of Technology, Allahabad. His area of interest for teaching are analytics, especially financial econometrics, financial modeling using spreadsheet and VB, financial data analytics using Python, and valuation, corporate valuation and corporate finance. So I again welcome sir on the behalf of Department of Mathematics and Statistics, University of Engineering and Management, Jaipur. Now, please, sir, take over the session. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good. So, just a minute. I need to share my screen with you. So, Zoom app. Yeah, share screen. Is it? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I'll be, as you are aware, that we will be discussing about panel data econometrics, so panel data modeling. So just let me start a new session for you. So we'll be talking about panel data modeling. I hope screen is visible, no problem.
No problem, sir.
You can see this whiteboard is clear to you?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I believe that most of you are aware about the regression analysis. You need to talk to me. It's not one-way communication. It's not monologue.
Yes, sir.
Please
Yes, sir.
mute and talk. Huh? How many people are today with me? More than 60. Good. So please feel free and mute and talk. No issues. Huh? So, so most of you know, or everyone knows about regression analysis. If I say regression analysis, so plain and simple, there is something known as dependent variable. Then we have got simple regression equation. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This much you know, all of you. Can I take this for granted that everyone is aware about the regression analysis?
Yes, sir.
Suppose I add one more. I say this is B1, beta 1 x1 and beta 2 x2. Does it make sense? Is it okay? Instead of one independent variable, I have got another one. This is dependent variable. No issues?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about, we'll come back to regression analysis. Let's talk about data. there are different ways by which data can be classified, but one of the ways by which data can also be classified is, we can say data is presented for analysis, maybe in the form of cross-sectional data, time series data. So how many of you can understand that? I don't think so. You have the option of raising your hand. We are using these after so many days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They have option.
You can just, or you can unmute and say, that would be much more easier. So you understand when I say cross-sectional data or time series data? Who does not know? Just unmute and say, I don't know.
Sir, I don't know cross-sectional data.
Okay, anyone else? So I believe most of you are aware, and only a few people are not aware. So, before we start talking about parallel data econometrics or parallel data modeling, it is important to understand the kind of data which we are having, because this is a very simple thing. What you are having, regression analysis or regression equation, is a very simple thing. Differentiation comes when we have different type of data, cross-sectional, time series, and then a combination of these two lead to data type which we are talking, which we are going to handle today, is parallel data. So those who are not aware about the cross-sectional data, cross-sectional means at a particular point of time, t. So t is fixed, and then you might be given different variables, variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, and so on, variable n. Out of these variables, it is possible that theoretically you are trying to address some problem where one of the variable might be identified as dependent variable, which we are calling as y. Other variable might be, or a few of them might be identified as independent variables. So right now, values of all the variables are having only one point of time. For example, we'll say that GDP of different countries. So we have got GDP and we have got, let's say, cross-sectional. We have, for example, argument saying 10 countries we have. So 10 countries we have. In that case, there will be 10 data points, one for each country, and one variable is GDP. Similarly, the other variable can be, let's say, gross domestic savings, poverty rate or poverty score, and gross domestic saving, GNP. Likewise, we might have more variables. So all are, as I'm saying, that these are examples of different variables. So number of countries are...
Sir, Shailesh sir.
Yeah.
Sir, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, tell me.
But there is some background noise.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing, sir. Now fine, sir.
No, problem is that we are having here at SIBM Pune placement week.
Okay.
So all the resources, our cables, everything is occupied by the placement week. So I'm using one additional room, but some lab is also renovated. So next week is a lab.
So a big noise is coming, sir, from the background. Yes, sir.
I can understand. The option is I need to change everything. Shall we manage them or shall we change the place?
Sir, if possible, please change the place, sir, because your voice not coming at all. The background is quite large, sir.
Okay, let me see.
Please, sir, please.
Okay. So I've requested him to, defer it for a few hours. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
It's okay, normal, huh?
Yes, sir. Normal.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what I was saying that when we are having data at a particular point of time, so all the variables or the presentation of data is called cross-sectional. I hope this point is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's say give some number, as I'm saying that number of variables. So you call it cross-sectional. Okay, you call it capital N. So the differentiation is there. Small n I have used for number of variables. Other type of data is time series. In time series data, there is always two variable. Time series data always come in pair. Time series data pair means there are two variables, variable 1, variable 2, and out of these two variables, one variable has to be some or the other denomination of time. When I'm saying any denomination of time means it could be either days, months, fortnight, year. So anything, any denomination can be there for the time. So let's say I'm saying I'm talking about stock exchange data and I'm having daily closing price. So I have got daily data. Daily, day 1, day 3, today, yesterday, day before yesterday, all the working days, and I've got likewise daily time, and other is closing stock price. Let's say I'm talking about RIL, Reliance Industries Limited. So we have got the share price S1, S2, likewise. So what we are finding it here, there are two variables. Second variable is stock price. First variable is time defined or denominated in days. So this example of presentation of data is called time series. Right? So we have got
Right, sir.
Cross-sectional, we have got time series. And we can combine both of them together. And the point here to be remembered is that we are presentation of data may be time series or cross-sectional. Every time we are dealing with variables only. Every time we are dealing with variables only. We are having variables V1 to Vn. Here we are having two variables at a time. Out of two, one variable happen to be some or the other denomination of time. So this is the stock price of RIL given in time series format. When we try to combine these two, then again we'll be talking about variables V1, V2, Vn. But right now what will happen, both the things will be clubbed together. As I have taken the cross-sectional, in my cross-sectional discussion, let's say we have got n cross-sectional data points and time. Here it was possible that I would have taken, let's say, 365 days, or out of 365, 250 working days. So how many days I have taken? 250 days. So here, let's say I'm talking, here I've given example that denomination of time is days. Let's say here I'm taking, for the sake of simplicity, I'm taking time in terms of years. So I'll mention that how many years. Let's say for argument's sake I'm saying 3 years. Let's say this put some number, 10 cross-sectional data points for 3 years, and the common thing across all three type of data is variables. Every time we are talking in terms of variables only. Are you getting the idea? Presentation of data might be changing. We might have cross-sectional where only at a particular point of time all the data available. Here we have got one pair at a time, where out of a pair of variables, out of two variable, one variable happen to be some denomination of time and the variable, like we have got the closing price of the closing stock price of RIL. Here we are combining the two. I'll show you the example. If you look at this, just for time being, you ignore it. If I say you just hide it, look at here. I'll show you banks. As you are finding that there are 39 banks. It is getting repeated. I'll explain why we are repeating it, but pay attention. So how many banks are listed here? 39, and then we are going to repeat it. There is a style of presenting the panel data. I'll come to it. First of all, you understand, I have taken 10 here. In this context in which I have a data, I have got multiple data. This data is having cross-sectional data points of 39 banks. So cross-sectional point there in my cross-sectional discussion, I was talking about countries, 10 countries data. But it was only cross-sectional, there was no discussion of time. 10 countries data was given at a particular point of time, maybe 2021 data. So time is fixed and variable information is there and number of cross-sectional has been defined. Time series, I said, it is possible. I have got GDP data, let's say of India, and I'm having 15 years data. So starting from 2021, 2019, likewise, I have got 15 years data, whatever year comes, and I have got the value of India GDP calculated in million rupees. So that is another example of time series data. As you are finding that two variables at a time in time series, one variable is time denominated in year, and this is the variable of concern. So in time series, always you will find two variables at a time. One is some denomination of time and other is the variable itself. But what we are doing, if you just take the example from here, we have got 15 years data, 10 countries. It is possible I could have got some data where I am having, let's say, I took 15 years and 10 countries. So I could have taken 15 years time if I just draw the analogy with my previous example. But right now I have a data in which what I'm saying, let's have cross-sectional. Let's have cross-sectional number of items. I'm using banks. In my example, I use countries. Right now I'm saying banks. There I use 10 countries. Here I'm saying let's have 39 because I have data of 39. So I have to describe the data available with me. So far, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I might go a little fast, slow, or whatever it is. Just unmute and talk. Is that okay? Don't wait. I'm talking and you are not getting. Don't let me go.
Sure,
Just
sir.
unmute and talk, right?
Okay, sir. No issue
Sure,
about
sir.
that.
Sure, sir.
So coming back, I've got data which I'm showing or discussing with you is I'm having 39 banks. So my cross-sectional data point in my panel data which I'm having right now is 39 banks, and I'll show you the years. I have to check that for how many years data I have. 2019 is starting, 16, 17, 18, 19, 4 years data. So I'll say that the time is 4 years. So what happened that we say that cross-sectional is 39 and years is 4 year, and then I'm repeatedly telling you that we have got variables. So whether we are talking about cross-sectional, time series or panel, discussion is always and always among or between variable. That point should not be lost when we are discussing something as complex as panel data. We should not be lost in panel data per se. Rather, what we should do, we should understand that we are talking about relationship among or between, or we have got as we are having in this example. Just a minute. Okay. So look at this data. Now presentation of panel data is something which I would like to talk to you. Before we analyze panel data or we learn how to analyze panel data, it is important that how panel data is to be presented. So panel data can be presented in two ways. One of the ways by which panel data, so far you are clear. If you are not clear, anything, whatever I have discussed, please let me know. May I proceed?
Yes, sir, please.
So panel data can be presented in two ways. We have cross-sectional and we have got time. So in our example, we have taken 39 banks and time is 4 years. So two ways this presentation can be done. One of the ways I have done in my Excel sheet, I'll be writing time. Let's say I have written 219. And then what I am doing, I'm going to write time I have written here. And then I'm writing cross-sectional. So what I'm doing, I'm repeating I'm writing all the cross-sectional items I have with me. And once all the items would have been exhausted in cross-sectional, I'll change the year. So I can repeat it here. Time will remain same, 2019. And again, for 2018, I'll start. And there's no gap in Excel sheet. I'll start with 1, 2, and again I'll go for 39. This will be repeated on this side. And again, I can do this for 2017, and then I can do this for 2016. This is the way information would have been just saved for you here. If I unhide this. So just look at these two. 2019, 39, and then for 2018 again 39, 2017 again 39, and for 2016 again 39 will come. Are you following this?
Yes, sir.
I could have swapped this in the way that I could have started with cross-sectional one. I could have written another way, cross-sectional time, and I could have started with first bank, and then I would have written 2019, 18, 17, 16. Then I would have gone for second cross-sectional, second bank, and I would have just repeated this again and again. You're getting it? Likewise, I would have finished all the 39 banks. That is also another way to present the panel data.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir. So panel data is always, sir, cross-sectional plus time series. Is
Obviously,
it?
that's why it is called panel.
Okay.
Panel is defined where both the things are coming together. And I'm
Right.
repeatedly telling, don't lost in the presentation of panel data. We are still going to find out association between variables. So that remains constant, that remains same whether we are talking about cross-sectional, time series or panel data. Only the presentation, the way it is shared when you are going to analyze, the way it is presented before analysis, differentiate. It is cross-sectional, time series or panel data. And obviously the methodology changes. Methodology are different when we are handling cross-sectional, different methodology, same regression, but approach is changed when we address the same thing. You're with me?
Yes, sir.
So right now what we are finding, the former way is created where year is coming or time is coming before and then cross-sectional variable. And look at them, they all are variables. I'll just knock out these. They are not available. Delete it. So they are not available for all the items, so I'll just knock them out. Yeah. Just let me save it. Just a second. Today is 17/9. So please pay attention. I'll describe you the nature of the data also. I can show you a few more data so that you get confidence. If I explain to you data, so that little more discussion on data. This is data on Indian banks, and we have got capital adequacy ratio. You're following it? List of bank is also there. It's a combined public banks and private banks. Are you with me?
Yes,
A
sir.
few papers are published using this data. It's already exhausted data. Up to 2019, you can understand, slightly older data. So these are 19, and then we have got how much? 15. 19, 15 is 39. That's why we are having 39. You're getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So capital adequacy ratio. Suppose I say that this capital adequacy, this 13.68%. So what does it signify? Look at the nature of the data which is here. This 13.68 is of second bank, whatever it is. Actual list, I don't know, I have here. No, I don't have right now, and I just can't tell you the name. Either it will be, this Andhra Bank, or it will be this Catholic Syrian Bank, whichever would have been, that I don't remember. So whatever is the second bank, capital adequacy ratio of second bank in year 2019. So in whichever way you collect the data, but when you want PAL data to be processed, you have to present data in either of these two ways. Either of these two ways, either this way or this way. So both the ways are okay, and practically it is the presentation of data is not related to which software you are using. Whether you are using any software, you'll find that presentation has to be done in any of these two ways. Right now we'll be predominantly using Stata. It's a software meant for exclusively, it can be used for other purposes also, but it can very well be used for PAL data econometrics. So likewise, we have got non-performing asset, net NPA, net interest margin. I hope you're understanding the variables. Capital adequacy ratio tells that how much sound a bank is in terms of having the good quality capital. Equity capital predominantly, NPA, non-performing assets, net NPA, which is adjusted figure of normal NPA, net interest margin is income shared in terms of interest income. What is total income? No, total advances. In numerator we put what are the income of a bank by giving the advances. When you borrow money from bank, those who are the borrowers, they give interest to the bank. So that income interest margin ratio is something which is NIM. Return over assets, whatever the assets which are there in the bank, what are the return, and a few more slightly more tweaked variables of banks. Point here is, we might say that for analysis purpose, I might be interested that how NPA is decided. I mean, NPA in a bank might have association with capital adequacy ratio, maybe having some association with NIM, return over assets, and I might have some control variables for that matter. That is the nature of specification of the problem which we might want to address with the help of regression analysis. And right now, just because we have data in the format of panel data, we'll say we are talking about panel data regression. So panel data regression is not something which is coming from some other world. It is only the data which is presented that is in the form of panel data, and that's why we are talking about panel data regression. Point, are you getting that? Still we are only finding out association where how NPA is going to be impacted by these variables which I have taken on the right hand side of this equation. Are you getting the idea?
Yes, sir.
Now one obvious question can be asked, that why panel data? After all, when we are only interested in knowing the association between these variables, I could have got same variables in time series. I could have got same variables in cross-sectional format also, and I could have done the regression analysis. So why I'm talking about panel data? Are you understanding? I could have time series having same denomination. I'll show you what I'm saying. Let's say I've got 39 banks and I'm having 1 year 2019 only, just 1 year. And I've got this variable, this variable, this variable, this variable, and all the control variable, let's say revenue of a bank as a control variable, if you understand the concept of control variable. So I've got 39 banks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 39, and I've got NPA, I've got all these other variables, I've got data ready in the format of cross-sectional. Similarly, I could have done this exercise in the format of time series. Let's say I'm having not 4 years, let's say 10 years, and I'm having 2019 and like 2010, 10, 19, 10 years, and then I've got bank 1, likewise I've got bank 2, and I could have got bank 39. Slightly complicated in that format, so I'll say bank 1, and then I would have got NPA, then bank 1, I've got other variable, bank 3, I've got bank 1, I've got third variable, NPA, capital adequacy ratio, NIM. So bank 1, bank 1, bank 1. Similarly, I could have repeated this for NPA, capital adequacy ratio, net interest margin. This I could have repeated for second bank, and then I could have repeated. What I'm trying to show you is that I have got NPA, I've got capital adequacy ratio, I've got other variables, and I can still find out the association like this. But yeah, are you understanding? The same association between NPA and all the independent variable can be done, whether it is cross-sectional or time series. Then why I'm talking about panel data? Yeah, question for you. Please go ahead. Rough guess, some intelligent guess.
Participants may unmute themselves and answer the.
Any rough idea? Why we are saying that the same exercise? After all, I am repeatedly telling you that regression is association between independent variable and dependent variable. Why panel data? Yes, guys, tell me.
No answer from anybody. You please
What
tell.
happened? Yeah, tell me.
No answer from anybody, sir.
No issues. So what happened? Panel data reveals more information. Suppose we are still interested how NPA is getting affected by the variable which I have taken. If I have cross-sectional, limited information can be derived because the data is limited, only cross-sectional at a particular point of time. When I'm saying, let's say, talk about time series, so I have to confine myself bank-wise. Bank 1 analysis I can do. For time series, I've got NPA, capital adequacy, net interest margin, other variables. I'll be able to find out association of these independent variable on dependent variable for a particular bank. But not all the banks at the same time. In cross-sectional, at a particular point of time, all the banks at the same time, but time is one. When I want to combine this both, obviously, when I want all the banks for the whole duration, I have no other choice but I have to use panel data. As the argument itself presents, that panel data is rich in terms of having more information at the same time. When you are having a data structure format which is more revealing, more information can be, the presentation of data itself is more rich. Then obviously when you process it and generate some meaningful information which can be used for decision making, you will find that panel data is always a few notches ahead when you do the data analysis and get the output from either cross-sectional or time series. So cross-sectional and time series both have limitations, but panel data is more rich in terms of providing more information which may be more relevant, meaningful, more effective for decision making. After all, the purpose of data analysis is to help people take decision, right decision. What should we do to reduce NPA? So we are trying to find out the association. Once we get the association, then bank managers or policymakers can take decisions. So this information of association of independent variable and its impact on dependent variable makes more sense when we are having panel data as compared to time series or cross-sectional data. It's not that cross-sectional will not be giving you anything. It's not that time series will not be giving you any information. They will be giving, but as compared to time series, they are always inferior. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, so panel data, now we can talk. How many of you have got access to Stata or something which you can use right now? Come on guys, one-way communication will not work. You have to talk with me. Okay, no issues. Saurabh Kumar. So Saurabh Kumar, you can unmute also and talk, no problem. I know how to handle. So feel free and unmute and talk. So I'll tell you a very funny thing with panel data econometrics or panel data modeling. If you go in the right way and you try to understand in the right and you apply the right method, you will find that something as complex as so far you have found panel data complex or just normal like any other type of data set. You found panel data difficult, normal? Come on, respond.
I request all the participants to unmute yourself and answer the question, please.
I think normal, sir.
Okay. So when we want to process regression analysis using panel data, a few things have to be taken into consideration. When we have panel data, then a few assumptions are there. If I, now look at how we write it. I tells the number of cross-sectional and T tells the time denomination. Let's say, for example, we have got 39 cross-sectional data and time in my case we have taken 3 years. So IT means I will move from 1 to 39 and T will move from 1 to 4 years I've taken, I'm sorry. So 1 to 4. So if Y is written 3, 4, what does it mean? Come on, Y 3, 4 signify what if I use this notation? Three stands for third bank and Y stands for fourth year. If I'm saying that 2019 is 1 and 2016 is 4, so I'll say that this is dependent variable, whatever is a dependent variable. If I have taken NPA as a dependent variable, so NPA value of third bank in the fourth year. So this is the notation YIT we use, or IT suffix we use to describe the panel data. Alpha plus beta and then X I T, and then I'm introducing one more. I hope you are getting it. Come on guys, if you won't tell, I will also stop telling. Doesn't make sense to discuss panel data. Come on, respond. You're getting this, which I explained to you? YIT, alpha
Yes,
plus
sir.
beta
Yes, sir.
XIT. Getting it? So here I can also write, there's something error term, statistically or econometrically, we can write down UIT. So this becomes a complete regression equation presentation in the form of panel data. Right now what I have assumed that I have taken only one independent variable. I would like to expand myself from this one independent variable to many, and I'm saying let's say have k independent variable, k independent variable. If I show you this, how many independent variable I have? 1, 2, 3 and 4. How many independent variable I have? You're getting it?
Yes, 4.
4. So 4 I have. So I'll say that, k in my case, for example, it can be 4.
4.
So let me just put it this way. YIT is equal to alpha plus beta XITK plus UIT. So this is one of the ways I can write, and if I know there are only 4, I could have written it this way also. If I am well aware that there are 4, I could have written this is one way, or I could have written Y. I would write that K starts 1 to 4, and same thing, I is 1 to 39 and T is equal to 1 to 4. That I can write. This can also be explained as alpha plus beta x I t 1 plus beta 1. Sorry, IK I will write here beta 2 x I t 2 plus beta 3 x I t 3 plus beta 4 x I t 4 plus UIT. So that is another way to write if I am well aware that K is up to 4. So I have just, I'll still continue with this. I moves from 1 to 39. T moves from 1 to 4. This much I've write. K I have knocked out. I've written 1, 2, 3 and 4. Are you following?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Here you might have noticed one thing. Do you find anything unusual? I can tell obviously, but if you just pay little attention towards the equation, this obvious question comes up to your mind. Look at just notation. Don't you think that I have taken some liberty in terms of presenting the information? Look at this second part. Yeah, any one of you?
Sir, as per my understanding,
yeah,
in UIT, you didn't mention the value of INT. Am I correct, sir?
In UIT, I am mentioning IT.
And the values of INT, sir?
Where? Please come again.
Sir, your slide is not visible.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, your slide is not visible. Yes. Sir, in this formula YIT,
YIT, yeah, correct.
alpha plus beta 1, XIT 1 plus beta 2 and all. Okay. Okay. We have to put the value of I from 1 to 39 and T from 1 to 4 in UIT as well, sir.
UIT also. The error term also will go with every, UIT is correct way to write. Error term will also be generated. Error term, if you understand regression little bit, suppose I have got just Y and X. I have X on this axis, Y on this axis. So let's say I've got different point X1, Y1, X2, Y2, X3, Y3. For argument's sake, this is X1, Y1, this is 1, this is X2, Y2, and this is X3, Y3, 3. So what happened? Regression equation is trying to have a line of best fit. Are you getting it? Line of best fit. So this becomes y is equal to alpha plus beta x. So what happened? If you look at this, this is second point, signify this x2, y2. So what is happening here? If I try to explain to you in more lucid way, this is a y2 and this is x2. You are getting? But my line equation is this. So what is happening? There is a, there is a mismatch, because in line corresponding to x2, I am getting another point which I am calling y2 cap. Are you listening to me? So this difference, real point of corresponding to x2 is this, y2 is here, but actually line is giving me point y2 cap. So there is a difference. So this is error. Are you understanding my point?
Yes,
sir. So this is, for 2, 2. So x2, y2, that's why I'll say y. I mean, I'm not just talking about cross-sectional or time series data, where I'm not putting both together in panel data. So I can say this is u2. For the second set, I've got the error. Similarly, I'll be getting u1 here, u2 here, u3 here. So as many observations pair, I'll be having that many u's. Are you understanding? So error is with point. Every point will give me error. Same thing applies here. Every data point will give me one error. Every combination of IT will give me one error also in terms of IT. That's not the catch which I wanted you to know. Look at this. I'm not putting anything IT here. Here also I'm not putting in any of the betas. I have not put IT. Have I put? Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir. Audible.
So this is the catch. If you look at this equation, then I have taken liberty that I am not putting IT with alpha, or I am not putting IT with beta. It means what my understanding or liberty or assumption in this equation is. I have given you one oversimplified version of panel data. I have not given you the most difficult version of panel data. What I am saying, I am assuming that my coefficients, I don't know whether you understand this. You guys are not talking much, so I'm unable to understand your level of understanding. Not today, but earlier level of understanding also. When we have got any problem where we have values of y and values of x, irrespective of cross-sectional time series of panel, I've got observations of y, I've got observations of x1, I could have got observations of x2. When I'm running one regression equation, when I'm just not talking about panel data, I'm just talking about the regression equation x1 and x2. What do I do actually? I try to measure. I'm putting a cap here so that it should become estimated. Alpha estimated, I'm saying, plus beta 1 x1 plus. I'm putting cap to just describe this, that it has been estimated. Look at here. I have data with me. I have run regression where y is dependent and x's are independent variable. What actually I have done in this exercise? I have estimated In regression equation, we estimate intercept and coefficients attached with each independent variable. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
So what is the purpose of regression analysis? To estimate the coefficients so that a model can be built. Association can be established. Y is dependent upon X. In which way? What will tell? Who will tell? Coefficients. How coefficients will decide? Coefficient might be plus or minus. Coefficient might be large or small. Alpha may be there as plus or minus. Are you with me? So practically these coefficients decide the nature of association. Whether the association is there or not, first thing. If it is there, it is positive or negative, second thing. If it is strongly influencing or weakly influencing, third. Three things. More things can be said. But decision about the association is decided by the coefficients. If I use the same analogy and try to draw some conclusion, I'll tell that what oversimplification I'm doing here is that I am assuming that alpha and beta are not having different values neither along the cross section or along the time. But I'm saying across the bank and across 4 years, alpha and beta are constant. It's a very strong assumption. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding? It's a big assumption. Why I'm doing this? Because estimating panel data in its real sense is exceptionally difficult thing. We have assumed both as constant over time and over cross section. That is simpler way, and 99% panel data econometric studies are done with this assumption only. So we need to understand that when we measure a panel data regression equation, it's not at par with cross-sectional or time series. It is having limitation. Despite this limitation, it reveals more information than cross-sectional or time series data. So it is not that it can't be estimated. It's not that alpha and beta will not have different values over the cross-section or over the time. They will have. Betas will also may have different values over the cross-section, over the time series. They will have, but they are ignored because for the sake of simplicity. And something else will be introduced, which I'll discuss with you. So something else will be introduced, I'll discuss. But you need to understand in a normal course, this is a strong assumption that we assume that beta, the coefficient, do not change over the cross section and over the time period. That remains constant. Whatever value we estimate using panel data in this format. So it is not that they will not change, they will change, but that will make estimation of panel data very, very complex. Every time we have to do cost and benefit analysis. When we are taking more pain cost, are we getting gains or benefits in that proportion? If not, we will say that there's no point of taking that much extra pain because the gains are quite less. Point here is panel data, even in this format, is so much revealing that we don't want to take the pain of having varying beta or varying alpha. We'll say that within this assumption, we are getting enough information, which even we can't, manage. So we'll say that, okay, there is no point of taking that much pain because gains are quite less as compared to the pain of having a panel data regression equation where betas and alphas are also changing with respect to time and with respect to cross section. I don't know whether you understood this much. I'll tell you more stories. Guys, you need to tell me you are getting this much. Come on.
Yes, sir.
If you have understood, feel free in asking, ask questions if you're not clear. If you have any background of regression, you will definitely have some or the other questions. And data is the extreme of regression. I'll tell you, last 4 or 5 years, around my 80% research is done. I've got more than 120 papers published already as on today, and around 50 plus papers are in different stages of review. So around 60, 70 papers you will find in the last 3, 4 years I've written only using panel data. Yeah, I write in a team, collaborative research, but the volume might give you some idea that how much involved we are with panel data. So you can't do everything, every type of data analysis can't be done by everyone. So we are specialized in panel data, so we are using panel data. We are doing some, if you are finance area, you understand that we have some papers written using volatility modeling, multivariate large family of models, and some study we do, a few papers, maybe 7, 8 papers we have done using structural equation modeling also. But predominantly for last 4, 5 years we are talking panel. So feel free, if you are really interested in knowing panel data, I would be of good help for you. But I don't know whether you are getting it.
Sure, sir. Sure.
May I proceed? Come on, guys, you need to ask questions. No question means not getting.
No questions mean everybody is getting, sir.
So now things will be much more complicated. Acha, any one of you, let's talk. Unless until you'll talk, I'll not proceed. So other than Dr. Prapul Chabra, your name is Prapul?
Yes, sir. Dr. Praful Chabra.
Praful, sorry, I'm sorry, Praful Chabra. So you are Rahul's colleague?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, other than Dr. Praful, I want you guys to respond. Have you heard panel data before?
Sir, we have heard about panel data, but I don't think I've got a better explanation than this, which you have shown, that cross-sectional plus time series is equal to panel.
Achha, good to know you are getting at least something.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any other version that you have heard panel data before? ठीक है, चलिए, we'll move forward. Panel data, this much is there in front of you. So now I'm taking you to the exercise of how to estimate panel data. And as I'm saying, in regression equation, we estimate the coefficients only, as I'm showing you here. So it is the coefficients which are estimated so that association between independent variable and dependent variable can be established. So reporting of panel data is not that simple. I'll show you if I have some reports. Just let me see. Published paper, I'll show you one so that you will just glimpse of the idea. So one very initially published in 2019 or so, 2019 was published, written somewhere in 2018. I'll show you the tables. One of my PhD scholars paper. So I'll show you the output of panel data. So this is something, IT, if you can understand. So the method to write this is different. Epsilon, we are using it here. And J is the number of K. K instead of K, she has written J. So I'll show you the output. Yeah. Can you see? Guys, can you see?
Yes, sir.
So we are having the variables. I mean, this study is on utility of how dividends are distributed in firms. That is the idea, aggregate data. So distribution of dividend to companies, dividend, most of you understand. So there are different variables are taken. I don't want to go into nitty-gritty of explaining all the variables. Look at this much part. This much part is very simple part. I don't know whether no, this highlighter will not work here. So this much part, as you are finding, this much part is plain and simple regression. And there's no difference if you know regression. They're talking about the level of significance. 3-star means level 1%, 2-star means level at 5%, and 1-star, I guess she hasn't used, so 2 and 3 only. 1 could have been for 10% level of significance. You understand level of significance? Level of significance, you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So association, these are coefficients, same betas. This is constant. This value is this is for alpha. Constant is k, intercept alpha, and all these are different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 independent variables. A few might be control variables, but right now we need not worry. These are the values of coefficients, betas. These are this. These are betas. These are standard errors to the extent I remember it correctly. In the bracket, the T statistics are given. T statistics, I hope you understand T statistics, and these are significance levels. So these are the coefficients, as I was just showing you here, betas and alpha. So if I show you the output of this regression, parallel data regression, this is alpha, and these are betas. Are you with me? So if anyone of you understand regression, then this much part is having no difference. No difference in the sense whether we are talking about cross-sectional, panel, or time series. We have dependent, independent, intercept, and coefficients, and whether coefficients are significant or not. So we should not get this too much in our head that we are handling panel data. Yeah, there are stories I'll tell you. I have enough 1 more hour to discuss with you, 45 minutes or so. I'll discuss where these are coming from. If you pay attention, number of years, 12, number of observations, that's not number of companies. This is cross-sectional. How many companies she would have taken at a time? 424 companies. For how many years? 12 years. So N is 12, and the cross-sectional items in this study is 424. And a few more things. I'll explain to you a few things. But I don't want to disclose you or share with you because that will be only bombarding. So I'm just trying to go slow so that you feel comfortable that you are only studying regression. You are not studying anything great, regression. But yeah, data is panel. So we have to be slightly more careful because we are going to get more information. We are having panel data, so information is more. So when you are aspiring for more, you have to put in more efforts, as good as this. But for the sake of simplicity or similarity or analogy, what I say, there is no difference between panel data, time series, or cross-sectional as far as this part of the results are concerned. Estimation might be difficult. These are giving you just to establish the fact that the estimation of panel data is done in a proper way. Otherwise, for a decision maker, if suppose this is assumed that it has been done in a proper way, so then for a user, this much information is good enough. I'm interested in knowing association between independent and dependent variable. Here, dependent variable is dividend. This I have discussed with you. You know, dividend, it has been defined in a certain way. Dividend, DIV stands for dividend. It is divided by total asset. New variable is created, derived variable of dividend. But concept is that we are trying to study what are the determinants of dividends in Indian firms. So all these are variables taken. They could be the determinants, and then we are trying to have the plus minus, as I said. So these business risk is having negative impact on dividend. Business risk is high, then dividends are paid less. That way we can interpret the results. So I hope this much is clear. My job, I'm trying to make you comfortable that you are still talking about regression. Panel data happens to be there, no problem. I'll come to that part right away. So in this equation, we have assumed that the coefficient, both the coefficients, intercept as well as the coefficients of independent variables are not changing with respect to cross section or with respect to time. That is a big assumption which we are doing. We don't discuss this quite often, but just because I have to bring similarity in all the three, so I have to talk to you. So that's why I have talked. Should not take that panel data is something different. No, it is having this assumption. You should have the clarity. Now next thing is how to estimate panel data. So I'm coming to that part of the discussion. And I'm believing whatever I've discussed, you are clear. I'm giving you a final chance. If you're not clear anything which I've discussed, please unmute and talk. I openly invite people, whatever I talk, ask. I mean, unless until you ask, I don't know whether you have understood or not. Yeah, please go ahead if somebody is trying to ask. Sort of statistics is a very elementary thing. I heard about PAL data. I had heard only a term regression classes from my friend who was in IT field. I'm basically for chemistry background, finding it difficult to understand. Good. And Amol, good. So Amol, I can understand, but the application of data analytics is everywhere. Trust me, there are two types of application. One is people, those who do it, other set of people, those who use the information. So whichever group you belong to, you have to have basic understanding of analytics. Are you getting? So regression is basis of analytics. Any type of analytics is based upon regression. Amol, I hope I'm making sense to you. So you can't avoid analytics for a very long time. You may not do it, but you have to interpret the results. You have to be part of that. So from the user side, you have to have the bare minimum understanding about regression or data analytics. You can't avoid it. Can you avoid computers nowadays? 10 years before, people would have said that they don't want to use. There are many people who said they don't want to use software or many things. But right now, nobody says that they won't use computer or mobile banking. There are many such things which people initially resist, but later on they accept. So analytics is something like that. You can't resist it for a very long time period. Sooner or later, you have to admit that I'm not saying create it, but learn to the extent you can interpret and be party to the decision making. You can't avoid not to have informed decision making. Whenever you are having authority, you have to take decisions. A decision should be based upon certain part of the discussion. Decision should be based upon informed decision making. So where will you get the information from? Somebody will derive it for you and give it to you. Unless until you yourself know how to use the information, you'll never be misguided. So that's little more little discussion on utility of data analytics. I basically teach finance. I have no business to teach analytics, but when I have to process the information to help in writing research paper or talking to people what should be done, what should not be done, I have to use analytics. I have no other choice. I'm not a man of data sciences, not interested in that either. So coming back to what I was talking, I'll complete the work which is assigned to me. So when I'm going to estimate betas or alpha in a panel data setup, there's something known as effect which becomes very important. We'll discuss about effects in panel data. Because panel data estimation takes a lot of input from effects. Why? I'll explain to you right away. When I'm writing YIT is equal to alpha plus beta k XITK plus UIT. This is the best. I don't know whether you are understanding the seriousness of presentation of panel data. This is the best way by which I have explained the presentation of panel data. It takes years to understand even presentation of panel data, how to present panel data equation. So this is simplest way to present. And as I keep on saying that I is number of items, cross-sectional, T is number of years, and K is number of independent variables. When I'm having this expression to describe panel data model, and I need to estimate BK and alpha. BK means there are three variables, three independent variables. So BK, B1, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. Likewise, as per the K, we will have betas and alpha. When we are going to estimate in the alpha and betas and panel data setup, I have to understand one more thing which I have not discussed with you. UIT, which is an error term, is having two things with itself. Mu, this is not U. Please pay attention. This is mu, small mu. mu I can say lambda t plus, I'm putting new again one term, new it. Please pay attention. I have opened up UIT, the third term in panel data construction. And these are mu I. So basically the whole story hovers around these two things. These two things. UI lambda t, they are known as individual effect. Please pay attention. I said when we are writing this, I said that we are having this assumption that betas and alphas don't move with respect to cross section or with respect to time. That stand still there. But what I'm just opening up is I'm talking about the error term. And when I'm saying error term, then I'm introducing this individual effect to you. Because I have to, go ahead and estimating the panel data model, or I have to estimate alphas and betas in a panel data structure. What this individual effect is, it is possible, or it is there. Otherwise, there's no role of panel data. If effect is not there, this individual effect is not there, there is no panel data. What is individual effect is that intercept, or you could say individual effect means the in cross section. Let's say there are 39 banks in our case. Bank 1, Bank 2, Bank 3, they might have different association of X with Y. While estimating panel data regression, and when we talk about simple alpha and beta, this assumption is still stand there that we are assuming there is no change in values of alpha and beta with respect to cross section and with respect to time. But when we are again opening up error term, we are talking about the individual effect there. In alpha and beta, we are assuming it is constant. But when we are handling error term, we are opening this Pandora's box of having the variation due to cross section or due to time. Those who have any amount of idea about regression, this error term is the biggest important thing across any type of regression equation. This is the error term which decides a lot of things. I don't want to open that discussion on optimum least square. How many of you know OLS? How many of you know OLS? Optimum least square? Yeah, tell me, how many of you know OLS? Optimum least square, there is a methodology to estimate the alphas and betas. There are some assumptions, we call it assumptions of OLS. You might have heard term heteroscedasticity, autocorrelation, multicollinearity. Have you heard these terms before? Okay. So point here is which I'm trying to bring home is there are many discussions of regression which is done with the help of error term. So that prevails. Whether it is cross-sectional, time series or panel data, everywhere you will find that a lot of discussion on regression is done with the help of error term. So this continues even if when we are talking about panel data, as I'm showing you in panel data, I am assuming that these are constant, alpha, beta, betas are constant over the cross section and over the time. But I'm opening it up and I'm reintroducing the idea that the error term can have individual effect, and that individual effect may vary with respect to cross section. That individual effect may vary with respect to time. Hope I'm clear, guys.
Yes, sir.
So what happened? This individual effect gives two type of panel data estimation. One is known as fixed effect. So what is fixed? This individual effect is fixed. We call it fixed effect. I'll tell you what exactly I mean by when I say fixed effect. Similarly, when this individual effect is random, we call it random effect panel data. So panel data estimation is either fixed effect or random effect. And where this fixed or random is coming from? In error term, there is one portion of the error which is having individual effect. You can put both of them together. And this individual effect can be fixed. Then we'll say there is a fixed effect. If this individual effect is random, we'll say it is random effect. When I say fixed effect, what exactly I signify, I'm just going to tell you fixed effect. In fixed effect, what happened? Whether I'm talking about mu I or lambda t or both at the same time. There are more permutation combinations. I'm trying to make it simple, this discussion of fixed effect, because I'm believing most of you are not getting it. So this mu or xt individually or both at the same time. So I'm, instead of making it complicated, I'm just using mu I as a representative thing, that individual effect over cross section. Lambda t is individual effect over time. So for the sake of simplicity, I'm just taking mu I, which is individual effect over cross section. So this can be fixed. This can be fixed. Fixed means when you are running the estimation, you will find that the values of individual effect is coming same all the time. It's not that one time you are estimating, it is coming one. Second time you are estimating, it is coming something else. If that is happening, we'll say that individual effect is random. How to determine that is second level of discussion. At this point, what we are talking is when we are running a regression, parallel data regression, then individual effect may be constant, fixed, or may be randomized. And when it is fixed, we'll say that it is having a fixed effect. Then in fixed effect, regression equation can be written like this: yit is equal to alpha plus mu I or lambda t, or put it this way if you want to put it together, or that will be slightly not very fair, so I'm not writing this way. So intercept will be enlarged. Are you getting? Intercept will be enlarged plus beta k x I t k plus mu I. You please pay attention. Now just use the this remaining portion. This is known as a regular error term. Regular error term of regression equation. So the error term in parallel data can be opened up like this, and then this individual effect can be identified. I'm talking about theory only. Application is very easy. So this individual effect can be fixed. If we test statistically and we find that individual effect is fixed, we'll be using fixed effect parallel data. And we find that this individual effects are random, we'll say that we are going to estimate random effect parallel data. So parallel data with random effect and parallel data with fixed effect. So this is the way to write fixed effect, and when we have to write random effect, I'll write this way. Alpha remains like this, beta remains like this, x I t k plus, I'll write mu I plus lambda k plus vi. And we are specifying that these are random. When we are putting it here, not with alpha, It means this itself says that the individual effect is random, and that's why random effect panel data has to be estimated. I don't know whether you have understood the seriousness of this, but it's a very big deal to understand this much small thing. It takes years at times. It becomes very difficult for anyone to understand what is fixed. Guys, any question? Done. I'll take you to Stata. I'll try to close it. I'm opening Stata. We have licensed version here at IBM Pune. Uh, so one of the best ways to enter data in Stata is we need to import Excel spreadsheet, and this Excel which I have just I've used in front of you, I'll be using this. It is saved in the name of tried paper. Is the name of paper tried data class this. Just let me see the location of data tried only. So I have to import this. Okay. So I have to import. So I'm importing. I'll show how data is imported. You can again pay attention. I hope this is recorded. So later on also you can see the location of how to bring data in Stata. Browse. I'll browse where my Excel sheet is there. Yeah, this we were accessing, and I'm just selecting import first row as variable name because, as you are aware, first row I have given as the names of the variables. So I'm taking this liberty, clicking it. I'm saying OK, and as you can see that I'll show you those who have any idea about using the Stata. I can go to data editor browser, and you'll find that data is here. Red because script are not read by the Stata. It will not be processed. Numbers are processed. They are black normal. So all the variables, if you see, all the variables are here. So I'm closing it. Not required. Data browser. That is just for showing you. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's 2 o'clock. He's back. So he'll survive somehow. Huh? Just 10 more minutes. I'll close. So before we actually, is it not manageable? Shall I change?
No, sir. It's
Can
Sir,
we manage?
we can
we can,
manage
sir.
this.
We can, sir.
Okay. So before we process panel data, we have to tell Stata that we have panel data. So we call it xt set. You can note this command xt set, and I have to give the first of all the name of the cross-sectional variable, and in this case it is bank. So I can double click here. It can go, or I can type also. Like after xt set, I'm telling Stata that xt is for xt is a command line for panel data. Xt set that data is panel, and then write down what is the cross-sectional variable bank, and then you pay attention here. Bank is the cross section, and here it will take like the year are written in numbers, so there's no problem. It will be read. So here I'll write after it. I can type also. Enter. So it is showing me strongly balanced data. So that ensures that the Stata has understood that we are having panel data with us. So now I'll estimate one fixed effect and random effect, but it can also be determined. So I'll show you one exercise, static panel data estimation, full exercise, so that theoretically you would have been discussed. You have been given the exposure of estimating panel data. So if you have paid the attention to my discussion on fixed effect and random effect. So when we want to process it, or when we want to estimate the panel data, we can't estimate both. Either the data set there with you having the tendency of fixed effect or panel effect. So effect is coming in the data, or rather more appropriately, the problem which you are handling. So when I am handling the problem of NPA in bank, so NPA in bank situation might be having fixed effect or random effect. That I have to figure out. How we do it, I'm telling you. xtreg is the command for regression in panel data, and then I'll be writing down my dependent variable. Let's say I'm having net NPA as my dependent variable, and let's say I'm going for capital adequacy ratio, NIM, and let's say nothing else, just 3. Yeah. So I've taken, if I show you that net NPA is my dependent variable, capital adequacy ratio, I'm writing CRAR, ignore it, but this is capital adequacy ratio. NIM is net interest margin, ROA is return over asset. These are 3 independent variables. And if I have to write the command comma and go for FE stands for fixed effect. So first of all, I have to determine what effect is there. So I'm running this. You are with me?
Yes, sir.
Enter. I've got some output in front of me. Session is recorded. You can revisit it if you happen to get a chance to have a startup. So if you look at this, here at the bottom of this F test, fixed effect test, you are finding this F, and F test value is 6.80. This is probability P value. I'm assuming you understand P value understanding. So what happened in fixed effect? So how to determine effects? How to determine effects in panel data? So first you run fixed effect, run, and then you go for this, that no fixed effect, alternate yes fixed effect. And if you look at right now, what you are finding that the null is rejected. Null of fixed effect is rejected because p value is less than 0.05. At 5% level of significance, null of no fixed effect is rejected. Means the interpretation right now using fixed effect test is fixed effect exists. But this is one story. We need to check for random effect also using the same method. So I'll run this instead of FE. I'll write RE random effect. Enter, and then I have to give one more command, xt test 0. Xt test 0 subordinate command over running the random effect regression. And here I'll look at the significance of p value. Look at this again. What we are finding that p value of random effect test is also significant. So if I explain to you with the help of this, next step is run random effect, and again pair of hypothesis, no random effect is null, alternate yes random effect. In my case, as I have run the random effect and I have found that the null of random effect is again significant in the sense that p value is less than 0.05, I'll say that fixed effect is a random effect. Random effect also exists. So when both exist at the same time, then you are in a fix. If only one exists, other does not, no problem, go for that effect. If both say they exist, then you have to go for third umpire, and that umpire is known as Houseman test. Houseman test. So we'll run for Houseman test, and to run Houseman, I'll be revisiting because I have to save some result. I've run fixed effect. I'll say store F1. I'm forgetting one command here. Estimate, store estimate. I'm just missing out this estimate. Just let me go ahead and trial. Yeah, estimate store F1. F1 is stored in the system. Let me repeat again so that you have the clarity. I've run the F test and I need to store it. F1 will not be stored, so I'm saying F only. F. So if fixed effect is stored as F, similarly I'll run random effect, and again I'll store F. I'll say R. It is saved. So before I run Houseman test third umpire, I have to store the result of fixed and random effect. Fixed effect results I have stored as F. Random effect is stored. I have stored result as R, and then I am going to run house HAS Houseman. I'll say F R comma and sigma more. Are you with me, guys? This is the command. In starter, you have to remember commands. If you're IT based people, you understand the relevance of remembering things, especially the commands. As I run, I've got some result. Let me explain you the significance. So we'll say that random effect, H alternate fixed effect. These are the pair of hypotheses for Houseman test. Look at Houseman test output. Houseman test output is again a chi-square test. Look at just p-value. P-value is again less than 0.05. It means random effect is also rejected. So this was rejected, so fixed effect came. This was rejected, so random effect came. Third umpire, Houseman test, and again it is rejected. So final conclusion, fixed effect. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is the way to determine which effect to have. Which effect to have. As I said that how to determine effects in panel data. So in panel data, I'm doing static panel data. There is something known as dynamic. There is no point at this juncture to discuss dynamic things. Static is good enough, and around my 60-70% papers are still on static, so it's not inferior to anything in any way. Static is static. There's no requirement theoretically to go for dynamics. We don't go for dynamic. So we have determined that effect. So in my given panel data, the effect is fixed effect. So I'll be estimating my fixed effect only. You are with me? So I'll run this again. So far I have run this. I'm not saying that I have not run fixed effect. I've run fixed effect so many times, to know the fixed effect determination of the effect. But I didn't interpret the result because I didn't know which effect is prevailing. Right now, after determining the effect present in the data set or in the theoretical model which I have made, I'll be interpreting the result. So I'm going to run fixed effect. Had it been random effect, I would have gone to estimate the random effect. I would have put RE here. But determination of effect is most important, and then we go for estimating the association. Now look at here. Please pay attention. My ultimate job was to find out how NPAs get affected with the help of capital adequacy ratio, NIM, and return over assets. So my problem is same. I'm solving the problem with the help of panel data. That is only different thing which is there in the context of panel data. Otherwise, problem is same. 3 independent, 1 dependent. Structure of the data is panel so that I get more, better, effective information for decision making. As I'm going to estimate it, this is in front of me. Look at here. What you are finding p-values again, we have to look. NIM is significant at 5%. It is less than 0.05. This is also less than 0.05 and constant has got no meaning. So out of 3 independent variable, adequacy ratio has got no significance. People create so much fuss that capital adequacy ratio in bank should be very high for a good bank. But on NPA, there is no impact. And as you're finding that NIM, net interest margin, and the impact is negative. Look at the nature of plus or minus is negative. Means high interest margin will give you lower net, lower non-performing asset, which is partly obvious. A return over asset, if bank is performing good, NPA is obviously less. Both are significant at 5% level of significance. With this, I would like to close. There's no point in talking more and more things. It's endless discussion on panel data. So, if you have any question, I can answer.
Thank you, sir. One question from.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. One question from Shatabdi Basu.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can panel data analysis be used in any domain research areas of computer science?
Computer science per se is a different thing, but when you are trying to address some problem, it can be used. But computer science, you know, your problems are at the software level. I don't think so. Software level problems are sorted, but form-related problem, computer science, IT firms having some issue. Let's say high attrition. Why high attrition is there in IT firms? That can be addressed with the help of regression equation. So wherever regression equation can be applied, panel data regression can be there.
I think Shatabdi Basu has got the answer. Shatabdi ma'am, you can unmute yourself and ask directly if you have any further query regarding this. Anyways, I just checked any other question in the chat box.
Yeah.
Tarun sir, are you there?
Yes, sir. There is no question from participants.
There is no. Okay. Rahul sir, Dr. Rahul Sharma.
Yes, sir.
Any question?
Sir, I will post my question after 2-3 days practicing on it, because this is a totally a new way. So I have already requested Shailesh sir yesterday that today I'm going to learn it and then practice it, and questions will come out after that.
Yes,
so I'm sure the recorded session I'm going to again revise it, and then I'll come with my questions. So
I was actually telling the same thing. Shailesh sir, thank you so much. Yeah, you tried very best to us. Actually, we most of the audience are from chemistry, mathematics, and physics.
Okay.
That's why no responses were there at that time. I personally from mathematics, and I tried to understand each and everything you explained, and you explained very well, no doubt. And this is my first session of panel data, and I experienced good, very good, and you explained very well. And definitely, I'm sure when I listen this recording after 2 or 3 days, I will understand each and everything you explained. Definitely. So it's a big achievement in front of a live audience. So thank you so much, sir, for giving us time from
Thank you also to give me the opportunity to talk to you.
So for sure, when we'll have you next time, whatever topic you are going to talk upon, the first discussion will start on this panel data only.
Sure, most
and we'll be having a lot of bumps to put in.
So,
yes, sir.
So thank you so much for being with us, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, disconnect.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye, sir. Bye. Thank you. So participants, this was a good session, no doubt. And we will meet again tomorrow at the same time, 12:30, with Mr. Deep Singh on Mendeley. And after that, the ending session will be there. So thank you so much for being with us. Have a good day. Thank you.